So I hinted that a course was sort of formative for me in terms of where I'm at now, and that is the tech entrepreneurship course at UBC. I'll give you a little bit of context though. When I decided to go back and do a master's, I knew that I wanted to bring together the technical side, the engineering, and the business side. And so I know that UBC has recently, I've graduated now for a few years, but in the last few years has started leadership, masters of leadership programs, which are kind of like this coming together of engineering and business in a few interesting ways. But the technology entrepreneurship course was sort of a representative of its type for that combination at the time when I was at school. And what they do is they bring together MBA students and they bring together engineering students, and you form teams. And the course is quite long, and it's one of those ones where you get out of it what you put in, and so you can put a lot in and you can spend a lot of time on it. And the intention is really to ideate with your group, perhaps focused around a technology that you are working on or that your lab is working on and want to take forward into some sort of commercial or marketable product. But perhaps it's something completely different. And you take it from an idea stage, you grow that idea, you validate the market, you kind of explore the financial side and the economic potential. And ultimately, some of these teams in your final presentation, where they bring in the dragons, are asked whether they want money to pursue this idea. And so if you're interested in pursuing the entrepreneurial direction, and coming out of school, completing a degree, it may or may not be what you want to do immediately. I know I worked for several years in consulting before I did my master's, and that was a very regimented, structured environment. And I got a lot from it in terms of learning around process. And what I do now is very different from that in terms of the way that everything fits together. But if you want to go right into that entrepreneurial journey, this tech entrepreneurship course, you package together a team and you have this thing that you could take out if you wanted to, or spin it into something different. And I'll just actually make a reference to, so one of the co-founders of Sanctuary is a gentleman named Jordy Rose, and he founded D-Wave several years ago. He often comes back to the tech entrepreneurship course to speak, and that's how I joined up with Kindred in the first place. But he actually, the reason that he goes back to speak is because he participated in that tech entrepreneurship course when he was doing his PhD in physics at UBC. And they didn't end up, like, D-Wave was not the specific idea that they came into that course with, but the ideas and the grounding foundations that were provided in that course, plus the access to the network that comes through working with that group, really gave them a leg up in terms of creating their own thing, which is essentially created the quantum computing industry.